Era. Hello, Era. What's up? I need to see about these PlayStation announcements. I saw everybody was losing their minds over the Capcom announcement for Street Fighter 6. I've been donating plasma this week to try to earn a little bit of extra cash. Oh my god. My left arm just looks nasty. It's just a lot of iodine and nastiness. Keep the bandage on my right arm for a little longer. Seven all by yourself in MA? Nice! No pilot. That's awesome. Are you finding it fun to play again? Or are you still more or less like done with the game? Madge cute, yeah, naughty, yeah. No time for that. Gonna get over it and move on. That's right, Era. Hell yeah. He did whale for Triple S Tree. Well, no, his HTR is not Triple S yet, right? He has to wait for Foca Expo, doesn't he? I didn't whale. I got screwed over really hard on the gear for Kiana, and I just didn't want to top up anymore at that point. I think under ideal conditions, I would have liked double S for the trio, but I honestly don't feel like it's a good use of my money. I think if I were in your position, I would decide how much time you're gonna keep spending playing the game. Like, if you think you're gonna be playing for at least 3 or 4 more patches, then do it. But if you're not, then I wouldn't. Because I think that's the thing for me now, is like, I'd rather put my money and energy towards something else. Hey, 9 deaths. Which is why, like, I didn't continue to commit. Because I could have easily just continued to top up and just added to the credit card debt and then, like, paid it off over time and whatnot. But I don't think that's responsible. I don't think it's wise. Like, what else do we have left to prove? Like, you've already punched into top 10 multiple times, right? Top 5 even. You've top 10 on MA and in Abyss. Like, what do you have left to prove? And I feel this, I have to remind myself, like, I've put 3.5 years of streaming this game. Of streaming Honkai Impact 3rd at this point. What? Well, 3 years and 3 months of streaming this game. Like, what else do I need to show? You know? Even a year and a half ago, people were like, "Oh yeah, you've already proven enough." It's funny too, because last night, I don't know if you saw my screenshot on Twitter, like, I was complaining about the event stage and stuff. And then I ended up molding Sim Battle. So I actually capped Sim Battle for maybe like the first or second time in my entire Honkai career. I think I might have done it once before. I can't remember. Am I watching the count? I was just chatting for a bit, Pachi. We'll speed up. Smooth, shoot forward a bit. Yeah, it's like, I feel like in the past there were events that caught my eye and the dailies weren't annoying, but it feels like lately the dailies have been getting more and more annoying. Physical is not included in all elemental. All elemental is everything that's not physical. In an ideal situation, Ace, you would run the Nirvana emblem from Abyss. If you don't have the Nirvana emblem, you use the Samsara Hunter from MA for your elemental team, and then you use the Red Lotus emblem for your physical team. Or you use the crit damage emblem. Yeah, Whale emblem's good for the pickup radius. I think if you're in Abyss, you don't really need the pickup radius, but if you're doing MA stuff, the whale emblem with the pickup radius is really nice. I would probably, if you're running the trio team, I would probably run the MA emblem with a 2.5 all elemental damage. The Hephaestus emblem from Deep Archives is what, with the crit damage, that's what you would usually use for your physical team. Let's play Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I'll play. Are you where are you in Final Fantasy 14 right now, Pachi? Because I just finished Heaven's Word. That was the last thing I did. Panzerkin carried. You never played before. cannot help you if you've never played before. It takes me way too long in Final Fantasy XIV. I cannot go back to re-level a character. Horizon VR! Should we play No Man's Sky on this channel?
Welcome to our first State of Play of 2023. We've got a lot to show you, including an in-depth demo of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But first, PlayStation VR 2 is finally here. Let's dive right in with a look at 5 games arriving on PlayStation VR 2 this year.
Okay, here's the thing. If you start over in Final Fantasy 4, if you start new in Final Fantasy 14, I can group up with you because I do need to level up a second job class. To be honest, I'm not that interested in this one. We can skip forward a bit.
I guess we'll just have to keep this up.
No, this is not the Horizon game. A VR survival game? Jaguars and birds and oh.
Come in, please. I need you.
I'm gonna skip forward a bit. VR magic game. Oh, sci-fi. Sci-fi looks
This
good.
may be hard to hear. There is a
Journey to the Foundation. Interesting.
That's where I'm taking you to see the gatekeeper. To be judged
This one would be cool.
to the very beginning. The first thing that you can remember. Every time
Your neighbor.
The only way to fight against time is to create a work of genius which might live on.
Is this... Oh, Destiny 2 Lightfall. Let me see.
The factor of our first collapse is at our doorstep. You have no purpose. Because you fear to seek one.
I don't know about that one, Ace. I feel like this is on B...
That fear is your failure.
Double check the description.
Vanguard to all units.
Amanda Holiday, no! Don't die on me! Amanda Holiday has the same voice actress as Sergeant Hammer from Heroes of the Storm / StarCraft.
I understand what's at stake like there. Not all of us have lives to spare.
Is that Saint 14?
Your fear brings you pain. We know pain. Our purpose is its end.
If the grind wasn't so long, I wouldn't mind going back to Destiny 2.
Here and the now.
Yeah, exactly. The grind is so like scattered around. That was one of my problems when I tried to go back to the game after year 2 was ended, right? Ace, I think this is on B, if I recall correctly, is like that timer is the cooldown timer and not the actual uptime timer. So you can't activate another instance of Cezanne until the cooldown, the entire timer is wrapped up. This looks like a better
Plus
raft.
game catalog in March. Speaking of PlayStation Plus, let's take a look at what's in store next month.
So, big day, class president's speech at the assembly. In light of the whole space rock, potential demise of civilization thing, my chosen theme feels off.
What's the theme?
Using this year to, make an impact?
Yeah, perfect. Go with that.
Are you okay? You've come into this year kinda intense with the band stuff.
The band is important. Why did she have to just leave? I said it was an emergency.
You did, and it is. To you.
What is this game?
It's weird how everyone's acting like nothing is different. But to me, everything feels different now.
We've always done what you.
I feel like Goodbye Volcano High. I feel like I'm watching like a movie trailer. Rhythm coming of age visual novel. Yeah, it seems that way. Oh, look! It's a ninja game.
I'm not gonna lose, you hear me?
Believe it!
Now I'll just
Alright.
obsessed with me. Amaterasu. The weak are silent. This is the power of all the Honkai. Get it going, Lee.
Here I go.
I'll protect you to the end. Sting to the beat of the killer bee.
Great.
With this power, I will establish perfect order.
What you describe is nothing more than oppression through force and fear.
My frail little brother.
No. I do not wish to fight you, elder brother.
Captivating fantasy worlds await in our next two games.
Oh.
I'll tell you a story, true soul. My life was dismantled piece by piece. And when I tried to buy it back, it cost me everything. I must finish what I started. Death's design will be complete.
Discover Ketherick's secret. Find out what it is that makes him invincible so we can strip him of his advantage.
Is this a Dungeons and Dragons?
You're a pawn, a slave.
Is this Divinity?
You cannot comprehend.
Baldur's Gate 3?
Ketherick is a frightening man. But you have something he doesn't. Allies worth having.
Together, we will strike down the Absolute.
Bow before me. Bow before the Absolute. Bow!
It looks really cool. I don't know if I have interest in the genre though. Wayfinder.
Welcome to Wayfinder. An
Airship
online
Syndicate.
multiplayer adventure for you and your
Oh.
friends. It's all set in Evanor, a gorgeous but fallen world.
Wayfinder. Is this
control
also
the chaos
available on
through
early
Wayfinders.
access?
Meet Senja, who likes to get up close and personal. And Silo, who fights with both firepower and fast reflexes.
Closed beta earlier this year. Okay, so as an MMO,
Slices through the frame while also
Looks pretty
supporting
cool.
the group.
it's like it's just enough familiar and it's
With
just
another
enough
victory
different.
under our belts, let's
But
hit the
you can
highlights
see the
of our
Joe
social
Mad
life.
art
Here,
style,
we'll turn
you
your
know?
loot into new weapons and wayfinders. You can also explore dungeons called Lost Zones that you can modify and mutate for a greater challenge.
Ooh.
Lost Zones are where you and your friends will team up to complete quests.
Okay, so this is
collect
the
loot,
instance
and
content.
hunt bosses like this Titan.
Yeah, just the Airship Syndicate art style is really nice.
We're excited to bring Wayfinders Beta exclusively to PlayStation, and you can sign up for the chance to play early now. Thanks for watching.
It looks good. It looks good. I don't... Oh, and it will be on PS4. Interesting. It looks good.
We've got big updates on 2 highly anticipated Capcom games, starting with the debut of 3 new characters for Street Fighter 6.
I saw everybody on Twitter was losing their minds over these announcements, so I want to see what... Zangief? $2 million reasons to show for Street Fighter 6. 1 million of those reasons is the prize pool for Capcom Cup, right? Wait, has E Honda been announced? Or I guess this is the announcement of E Honda, right? Oh, they released the whole roster a while back, but I guess Zangief wasn't on that list, right?
I call upon you, great wind.
Right.
Toino Ikonoi, spirit of the wind. Let yourself become one with it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
But not the one we're looking for.
I know I saw a lot of people were hyped for this one. The stretching. I saw Jay Wong's tweet about this where he showed the clip from the Street Fighter movie.
Another mission awaits.
She's so British. That is the Cammy reveal, yeah. I'm looking forward to playing this.
You see, we are all connected through the holy body. When you need only accept the sacred gift. Christ! Like she did.
I'm not gonna.
Temperance, child.
I'm taking the liberty of preparing some entertainment for you. Ah, the entertainment. Without further ado, the gallant knight protects the princess fair.
This is a remake slash remaster, isn't it?
Move! Is it always like this with you? How about you open fire instead of your mouth?
Yeah, I think I remember watching my friend play this back in.
Trouser? Why? You can't save her. You can't save anyone.
What's gonna happen to me?
You gotta keep moving forward.
Wasn't this game on the Wii at one point?
Thanks.
Then come, Sancho Panza. Let us rescue the Princess Dulcinea. You gotta hurt yourself.
Sorry, bad traffic. One combat shop.
Yeah, I remember watching my friend play this on the Wii.
This is kind of fun. Ahead. You're kidding. Ah, yes. The time has come. Like I told you. I'm gonna get you home safe. I'm ready to die, rookie. Exalt all, Leon! And let me die. This time, it has to be different. Well now, time to cause some mayhem.
Are they changing the story in this remake, or is it gonna be just a complete, like, it's the same story and they're just adding to it? I don't know. Resident Evil has not been my series that I've been
the world's greatest DC
invested
superheroes in this extended look at Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. Let's hear from developer Rocksteady Studios.
I'm gonna skip forward.
Hi everyone, my name is Darius Sidarian, and I'm...
I can't remember the last time I played a superhero video game either. Is that Lex Luthor?
Oh, you know what? Hold on a sec. Hello, Brainiac? Is it happening now? Great. You will have Luthor ASAP. Good news! You want Luthor, all you have to do is... come and get him.
Batman Arkham? No, this is a Suicide Squad game. Here, let's go back.
State of play. Today, let's take a brief look at one of the missions in our game. The Flash has been corrupted by Brainiac, and as the Suicide Squad, you'll need to work together in up to 4-player online co-op to stop the Flash and rescue Lex Luthor in the process. Enjoy.
Let's bust something up!
Oh yeah, PS4 Spider-Man.
Oh, you know what? Hold on a sec. Hello, Brainiac? Is it happening now? Great. You will have Luthor ASAP. Good news! You want Luthor, all you have to do is... come and get him.
This is a really good take on, like, a corrupted Flash.
Flash is alive. And he has Luthor.
One damn thing at a time. That artillery is gonna wreak havoc on our front line. If there's a snowball's chance in hell you can destroy it, I expect you to. No matter the cost. Are we clear?
Yeah! Where the snowball?
Time to light them all up.
Incoming Ollie! Out of my way.
Guess Quinn ain't holding anything back for later.
Hold my beer, guys. Let's dance!
I think it's cool that this is a co-op, right? This happens in co-op and you play 4-player multiplayer co-op. Whoa.
Focus our fire on this tank.
Why do we never get reinforcements?
Thunder upon this tank!
Watch your mate! Wow, explosion!
In a way, it reminds me of like what Destiny 2 felt like early on, right? It was just you and a bunch of friends doing goofy stuff together.
Roger that, Quinn.
With crazy movement. I think the crazy movement is what makes this game like feel fun for a multiplayer experience. Everybody has like crazy movement and traversal.
Senseless violence! Love it!
Nail that weak spot, squad.
No worries!
Didn't the Bat Family game have a lot of problems where, like, yes, they had the multiplayer, but it ended up too much like DLC and stuff?
Just call me the pinball wizard.
Yeah, I heard the Miles expansion for Spider-Man was really good.
Quinn, there's more of them.
Thank you! Die already! Guys, this one won't die already!
Hey, Neko Mom.
So, how'd the whole taking down the Flash thing go?
Still in play? Now get out of my way. I have work to do.
Well, hey there, sleepyhead. We've got an interrogation to get back to. Hey. You think I'm just gonna let you walk away? And tell these guys everything you know? You think they can stop us? Pathetic.
Pathetic? At least I'm not a big hero turned stooge for a spaceman.
Okay, Boomerang. You want to see what a real hero can do? I'll show you.
Oh, is it just Suicide Squad for the rest of this? Oh.
Flash, how do I stop this? Please, tell me how.
You have to kill us, Diana. We have to die to save the world.
Wow. Wow.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League arrives on PS5 May 26th. Rocksteady Studios has even more to share today. Let's listen in.
Show me what you got.
Just new stuff that they've never seen before.
Gear score goes up. And as that number goes up,
gear score.
Missions. As part of this progression journey, you will unlock
gear score,
more and more ways to customize your character to really fit the way you want to play.
Every firearm in our game is upgradable. So in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, you're gonna get lots of choice to use the weapons that you need to complete your missions, but most importantly, you will be able to customize your squad.
Oh, that's really funny.
Whatever you like.
You can wear whatever you want, any of the outfits. You can be running around in your asylum jail outfit and still have like the best gear.
I like it. Our game is a 1 to 4 player co-op experience.
420 eye level only.
Missions in the game have been designed to support solo play, playing with a friend, 2 friends, or 3 friends.
For the single player fans, you can play it in single player with bots filling in the role of the squad, so you still feel like you're part of a team, and you can switch them if you want. We'll try King Shark now. Or we can say, well, I think Harley will be a better fit for this mission, so I'm going to switch over and I'm going to try her out.
But if you really want to tear it up, going in with a full group of 4 lets you experience the full mayhem the Suicide Squad has to offer.
And you get to really experience the dynamics between how you can all play together in different play styles in order to take on Brainiac and the Justice League.
All the fun is right here.
When the story's done, your experience doesn't end there. Rocksteady will continue its legacy of supporting the game after it's launched.
We're going to deliver lots of new content to our players. We're going to have new playable characters, new weapons, and new missions. For players who like to customize their looks, we'll offer a battle pass that only contains cosmetic items. There's just going to be so much for the players to enjoy.
Just picture it.
What were we saying about games as a service?
If you like story games, if you like RPG elements, if you like co-op games, if you like customizing your characters, if you want to play as a badass, this game kind of has it all.
It's very fast-paced, it's really colorful, it's loud and unapologetic and in your face, and it's going to be really, really fun.
Hey, Metropolis! Do you like live executions? Well, don't touch that dial, or I'll break your fingers.
Don't break my fingers.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League arrives on PS5 later this year. We'll be back with more announcements soon. Thanks for watching.
Cool. Alright, I'm gonna go play Honkai now. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I think I think I'm gonna see about getting that Street Fighter 6. Does Street Fighter 6 come into Steam too? I think it will, right? Okay. Drops EU. Release on every platform. Okay. Gotcha. Alright, we're switching over to the Honkai stuff. Don't forget to do your Hoyo Lab logins. I hope that I hope that there's enough like stuff for casual players to do in a fighting game. In Street Fighter 6. I feel like maybe that was one of the things that I struggled with in Guilty Gear Strive, where like after we played our local casual stuff, like it was either watch the story, which I never felt like I had time for, or something else. We mauled in, or we mauled done yesterday? Oh, we'll do a little bit of stuff today. Do a little bit of stuff.
Captain on bridge.
Yeah, have you been playing Wild Hearts, ZBK? I saw Kanto was streaming it a bit. It looked really good. It looked quite nice. Wow, Mortal Kombat 12 confirmed for this year in a Warner Brothers Discovery earnings call. Wow. What shall we listen to today? What shall we listen to today? The usual? Something chill? I need to crack open a window. It's getting warm in my room. GPU is spinning. Just need to vent the hot air out of my room. Maybe I just don't even play the fighting game and I just draw fan art of the characters, right? We gaming? I think so. I think so. Alright. What are we gonna do? Open world. Chronos, if you haven't bought it yet, then you probably just skip it, right? Save for the next one that you actually like. One deep breath. I see my enemy inside your scope. Yeah, I definitely felt like it was worth it. Hey, J Prime. Double newt, huh? I think I'll just do something so basic.
One suit. 明智之举。
Since I don't have Avo TM as a duo on this account.
幽兰，我不会输给任何人，我会将崩坏驱逐出这个世界。
One suit.
I'll take this. It's not bad. It's an NA account. I'm not stressing over anything. Literally one and done. Literally one and done. This one I think I actually have to run Margrave. Because I need to save Turgenev for the topside fight. Am I planning on getting Sushan gear from Focus Select? I think it's a good idea if you're focusing on Ice Team. This account cannot afford to do so because the priority is going to actually be the HTR gear. The priority is going to go HTR gear and then Finality gear. So Sushang is just going to have to scuff it out for a bit. Wait a minute. I've already forgotten what I was doing. Okay. I don't know if I can do the opening from the other one here, because I don't think I'm going to have enough damage. I think I actually have to ult on Elysia or something. Should you save for HTR or full gear? Do you not have HTR? I would save for HTR. For sure. I would save for HTR for sure. I don't remember how this kind of works. Okay, I'm gonna have to do something different. I would definitely get HTR for sure. HTR, and if possible, at least her weapon. And I think that'll at least give you a playable trio team if you have all of them and their weapons. Obviously, damage is going to be a little bit less without their signature stigmata, but at least with their weapon, it's going to feel okay. I might need to switch to Bronya for this. I honestly don't know how to do Sushang on low tech. See, now the problem is, how am I gonna farm SP? What? I'm so over on SP. Did I do the Honkai story yet? No, I haven't. Is the new chapter out? Dude, the event's not even over. The story event's not even over. The event story is not even over. Yeah, I have no damage. Oh, I feel about this here. There's like no damage. I think I would have just done better with a Haxor Bunny team. Only the event stage fireball. Only the Summer Symphony thing. Spring Symphony. Do we take this 39,333? I feel like I should be able to get higher than this, but I'm having a lot of issues. I think ours is tomorrow, right? I think chapter goes out tomorrow, along with Poca Expo. Yeah, you're gonna want HTR, Luchu, for that team. Without HTR, you really don't have the trio team, and HOO and Finality you would just run individually. Just didn't mean to do all that. Hey, Bob. I'd imagine it'd be 3 acts. I don't see why they wouldn't do 3 acts. When does HTR come back on banner? So I don't know if the schedule for Foca Expo is posted yet, but Foca Expo starts on Friday, and it's like HTR is on the 3rd round, so probably sometime next week. It's posted, it's the 28th. Is it in game yet? Is it in game and on Twitter? Because they were kind of slow this time around getting that beta to Twitter. You saw the Foca announcement, but not the Expo. But with Foca, you can kind of tell based on what gear is available. This is kind of rough. That's the transition we were looking for. Okay, this is good. There we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I got greedy. I wanted to do one more charge. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. Yes, you're right. Thank you for the follow. That's pretty normal. Okay, we raised it by like 2 seconds. 1 second. I'll take it. This is good enough. I'm satisfied with this run because we got the transition sequence mostly right. Damage is a little bad in the end because we got greedy. I shouldn't have done the extra charge. It was alright. Okay, time for a Scuff Trio team. It's gonna feel bad, but it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be okay. Ooh. This is the wrong May Stigmata.
One sealed.
Got to Nirvana again? Nice. But you can't even remain top 15? Not nice. As long as you get your 15,000 points, in Nirvana. That's all you can really ask for now. Okay, just a recap. I'm using placeholder gear because I haven't opened the option boxes because I'm trying to get 2 more stigmata before I open my option boxes, okay? So everything on my HTR is placeholder. We do have S1 though. That's kind of a happy accident there. Nirvana's medium spender territory only. I don't think just regular Nirvana is, but it takes a lot longer if you're not spending to build up the infrastructure. Is it worth to get the elf bundle 50 pieces for new players, the one that's 1,000,000 coins? I probably wouldn't do it at this point because the elf fragments that you get is for an outdated elf. Like, you can slow farm her fragments anyways. Like, if you have a lot of coins excess and you just don't care, sure. But in general, that elf that you get is like, she's not really going to add that much to your gameplay. She can be nice in the early game where you might need healing here and there, but you're not really going to use that elf long term into the late game. Yeah, Bob, I would just say that, like, it takes a long time to get to that account state. Like, right now, my NA account, if the weather is favorable, I can retain Nirvana in a top 10 position, usually between 6 to 10. But if the weather's not favorable or I get unlucky on the bracket, like this last cycle, I was 14th, right? But I was able to clear all the stages and get all my crystal rewards. How do you get other elves? You either gacha for them, like in the current Kiana elf banner, or you take advantage of the spending events and you buy elf fragments from the spending event shop. HTR is the most future-proof vault to invest crystals in right now. Agree. She's probably going to be a mainstay for at least the next 1.5 years. Hey, Diojari. Yeah, that's good, ZBK. Hey, Never actually got ahead of Sticks on this one, but it looks like this is the cap score for the trio team. It's like Killer Angel and Rivet Charlie went for the 808. Oh, Charlie's S2 though, right? Charlie's S2. Iria said that Charlie's S2. Feoran! Alright, I'm gonna look for something along the lines of like 47.3 to 47.5 as a big maybe. So we'll see where we get here. So many 9S trios popped up out of nowhere. Yeah, everybody's been saving for this patch for a long time. I gotta figure out a better opening. Which elf would I recommend for F2P? Asking in general because you already picked Doodoo already. Okay, well if you already picked Doodoo, did you unlock it from a previous fragment box or did you unlock it from current fragments? Next patch we're getting Water's Edge. feel like this is gonna do no damage. Who should you pick from the S rank box? Probably Lightning Empress. Probably Lightning Empress. Because the sooner you unlock Lightning Empress, the sooner that you can start farming for Dorm buffs. Yeah, I would probably pick Lightning Empress. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, we used to have a priority list because you needed to farm certain things in a certain order, but nowadays it's like you eventually need to farm a bunch of them just for arbitrary Dorm buffs. But I think Lightning Empress is the best because the sooner you get Lightning Empress to triple S, then the sooner you can unlock the Gold Witch Orb Shop. Well, you can unlock the orb shop from A ranks getting triple S as well, but you don't get Pure Witch Orbs until Lightning Empress is triple S. So if you're not worried about the long-term grind, you can kind of pick whoever. I just wouldn't pick Dimension Breaker. But I think Lightning Empress is still generally considered the pick for most players. Oh, that's bad. I only got 2 of them. I think this is a restart. Do I actually need to just wait in absolute time fracture for the shields to come back up? Pretty rough. Is Never a 9S on Trio? Yes. I think this might be his last 9S. Ellie over HOR. Is HOR in the option box? But don't new players get HOR for really cheap from the starter stuff? If HOR is in the starter box, HOR is a good pick for sure. HT has replaced HOR. Oh, HT has replaced... Okay. Yes, then I would probably go HOR. Because HOR is just a really strong early game carry that scales into late game as you farm rank ups and stuff. But you still want to take Lightning Empress and stuff, whatnot. I don't know. There's a lot of like free DPS that you get nowadays early on that it's all good to have. But I would probably pick HOR. Then I apologize to whoever it was that came in last week asking about who to pick, and we just said Lightning Empress. Because I remember Nefer responded Lightning Empress to one of the questions, but I think both of us didn't realize that HOR is in the box. I'm gonna try this one more time. Just a Gold Witch Orb Shop. So here's the thing. Lightning Empress is truly farmable, right? While HOR, you have to kind of hope that you get from Dorm Supply. there's arguments to be made for both Lightning Empress and HOR, but I feel like for early game, HOR probably might just be better. HOR just does so much in the early game, all the way from like 1 to 80. Yeah, Legacy is a little harder for new players to get. Forgot to hold the evasion. Come on. You know, I never had to worry about this with the previous trio team. Do you need Lightning Empress? Okay, so Lightning Empress provides what we call a Dorm buff. So by virtue of having a Lightning Empress, even if you have an Origin, Lightning Empress provides 5% total, provides 5% lightning damage permanently for any team that you run. So yes, even if you have Origin, you'll eventually need to farm Lightning Empress, and eventually you'll want Hersher of Thunder at double S2 as well, rather. But that's more of a late game progression thing. I think for now, if you go HOR, it'll be fine. What is soft pity? It's around that 70 to 80 range, but I never really look at soft pity. You get it or you don't. Which is, it is what it is. Oops, I forgot to ult. Some other players might tell you differently. I fumbled so hard at the end. That was worse. 30 is a hard pity for gear. But you have 100 is hard pity. 100 is hard pity for characters. 62, which means you only did 40 some pulls, right? 38 pulls. If you're at 62, that means you only did 38 pulls. Yeah, for MG, the hard pity was 30. Yeah, MG this patch, soft pity was 30 and hard pity was 40. Does Expo Select share pity with normal expansion? Yes. They made that change 2 years ago. Yes. Ho-Fi gear is 50 each. That's normal focus supply for equipment. SP battle suits will have 30 because it's a 120 total. And Maze gear is also 120 total. How many crystals do you need for a guaranteed S rank? 28k. Because it's 280 per pull, and you need 100 pulls. Oh, come on. The last hit didn't connect. That happens, Kizuto. Just gotta plan accordingly on what to skip and what not. It's tough. You get gold witch orbs for any extra fragments that you have of any S rank. You can convert extra fragments into gold witch orbs, and then you can use those gold witch orbs in a special shop. Not anymore. Night Moonbeam, you can kind of just stop at double S. We used to say that you could farm Night Moonbeam to triple S, but it wasn't really worth it. Someone in my YouTube comments did the math and they were like, actually, it takes like 20 years before you'll actually start to see savings. Okay, well, I guess I'm just capped here at this. I'll just take this score, to be honest. I don't know. Would I actually get a better score if I ran Flame Scion and Hersher of Thunder? Really, Chronos? Interesting. Yeah, not only did Night Moonbeam fall off in the meta really hard because the fights have just gotten so long, but it's also just the fact that, like, getting her to triple S just to have easy gold witch orbs doesn't make as much sense as I thought it used to, you know? No reveal who's partnered with Flame Scion yet. I wonder if they'll go back and do Dea Ancora, or if they will just do Nyx. Because right now, Dea Ancora is the only one that hasn't shown up in Battle Pass. Right, they ran Dea Ancora's gear in Battle Pass, but they never ran the battlesuit herself. We have had DA on BP. It was BKE and DA. Oh, if it was BKE and DA, then it probably will be Starchasm Nyx in the second half. I remember her gear being there, but I don't remember her actually... Oh no, yeah, that makes sense, because my DA was already double S. That's right. Expansion pity is 100 because expansion is for the battle suit, but Foka will be 50. That's right. I did forget that DA was on BP because I got a DA from ADV on a random one multi because somebody in the chat named Kronos dared me to do one multi. See, that one multi was the beginning of the end of all my streamer luck. When is Foka coming out? This Friday. You can check in the in-game announcements. You can check in the in-game announcements. Not here. Here? Yeah. Anniversary Foka Select. So Foka and Expo will happen together. Round 1, which is February 24 to 26. And the rerun will be March 3rd to March 6th. So Hersher Elysia, skippable kinda, right? Vil V, looking for somebody to donate to me for that one. I'll roll for it if we get donations. Sushang Gear and Sushang, I probably would say that for most players that are low budget and free to play, you would just farm Sushang and then maybe you go for the gear. Echoes of Paradise, we've had multiple opportunities to get this pistol, but it still makes sense if you are missing the pistol. A little bit late at this point to try to get it, but it's still good. Handle is craftable. I probably wouldn't recommend that most players. Well, it depends, right? If you're new enough, rolling for handle saves you a lot of time. Miracle Kissy Pillow and Paganini are still quite useful in certain shield break situations. So getting Miracle Kissy Pillow and any Paganini MB or TM combinations would be really nice. Lost Conviction with Xeno for the Aponia players, Midnight Eclipse and Bianca Theater for Equinox players. So Equinox is an okay pick. I feel like a lot of the ones in round 2 are like, if you're willing to top up for it, it's fine to go for, but if you're a brand new player, you largely probably wouldn't go for. Piranha is really good for ice teams because of the 30% ult cooldown reduction, and then Zen Yi is nice, but probably I would skip Fischl Gear at this point because it's so old and it's on Battle Pass. Mobius will have an ADV banner at the end of the Foka Expo, Rimuru, so you can expect for her Mobius gear to show up in Focus A during that time. And then round 3, February 28 is when we'll get HTR with their full gear there. Cezanne could be something that some players are looking for if you're looking for a Cezanne B duplicate, but this is kind of like whale territory. You're only really looking for the Cezanne B dupe if you're spending enough and you're chasing the high scores. Everything else in round 3 is kind of old. I probably wouldn't recommend a lot of the off rates in round 3. Getting some Ozlog pieces could be useful, and getting Obscuring Wing allows you to play Raven DPS, so it's not entirely bad for new players, but it's not high priority, I would say. Hey Leku, is Mobius outdated? What's the context of that question, Alaza? She's outdated in the sense that they're not running her bosses so that you don't use her as often. But if you played the most recent Abyss where we had lightning, that lightning side stage, Mobius still clears that lightning side stage, and Mobius still clears the Bloodlust side stage very, very efficiently. So in terms of efficiency in clearing side stages, is Mobius outdated? No. Are they running a lot of Mobius bosses right now? No. So, is she outdated? Yes and no. Mobius is a year and 3 months old at this point, because she came out in 5.2 and we are now in 6.4. $50 pity per piece. So it's 200 pity for a full set. Hard pity. And if you don't finish the set at that point, the pity will reset on the next equipment banner. So like, let's say for instance, as an example, right? Focus A, I'm missing the M piece. If I don't finish it here, and I go to the next banner, it will reset to 200, and I have the chance to get weapon top and bottom all over again. Thank you, Kronos. So, is Mobius outdated? No. Because you'll just run Eden with Hersher of Truth with a Mobius team. And you just beat the bosses. Was Mobius really used that much in the last couple weeks? Here and there in a few side stages. So, you know, I don't think Mobius is that outdated. I think the 200 pull full pity for equipment is what turns off a lot of players. Because, you know, you think about how important getting the weapon is and how important the stigmata is, and it's like, on a certain level, if you have more time than money, you'd rather just farm artifacts. But for those players that have farmed and farmed and farmed and never gotten the artifact that they want, the ability to get a certain piece of gear that does exactly what it's supposed to may feel way better, you know? You got HOF and HOO, but no HTR. Is there any viable replacement for her actually? No. If you want to run the trio team, you have to have HTR. If you use anything to replace her, then you probably won't be running HOF and HOO in the same team unless you have Turgenev for your HOO. Or for your HOF. But even then, it's like you really want HTR. But HTR is getting a rerun on the 28th. We were just talking about this. HTR in round 3. HTR in round 3 of Foca Expo. Well, funny enough, Nereus, if you just rebuild your Raiden into Hyperbloom, then you don't have to worry about being above average, because Hyperbloom can just carry the damage, right? Artifact farming in Genshin is worse than rolling on gear. Is it just because it's monotonous? Because when I think about it, in Raid and in Star Rail, I don't really feel that much pain, right? Because you can automate it. You just set it to auto battle and you just let it farm itself. But in Genshin, you can't auto battle. Well, here's the thing, Baron, because I'm starting to appreciate both sides of this. Artifacts is really bad because of the randomness, but you can make do with copium artifacts and the character will still function, right? More or less, the character is going to be more or less, the character is still playable. You can play with 4 stars and scuff artifacts and the team will still run. One of the you know, grass is always going to be greener on the other side. One of the downsides of Honkai right now is, like, if you don't get the weapon, right? If you don't get the weapon, or if you don't get 2-piece, or if you don't get 3-piece, the character will feel like garbage when you play. You know, some people will even, I even got a YouTube comment like, oh, I don't even feel like Origin is worth building if you don't get her to at least S2, which I don't agree with, because if you play the trio team, then yeah, it's definitely worth building Origin, even if you have the whole team at S0. So it is a situation of grass is greener on the other side. If you get to a position where you are very specific about what you skip and what you pull for in Honkai, and you can guarantee either full set or you're willing to make do with 3 out of 4, I think that's okay. And let's not forget, even after you get the gear in Honkai, you still have to roll affixes, which can be its own RNG hell if you're trying to min-max. Yeah, like, what if they nerf the equipment to something along the lines of, like, you gotcha for the weapon, but when you get the weapon, you get 1 option box, and then you have to craft the rest of the stigmata through playing the character's, you know, stress test or something like that. Much more generous approach, right? That was one thing that I always hear from MG about some of the other gacha games that he's playing, like another Eden and or Counterside. One of those 2 games is like, once you unlock the character, you always have a method of acquiring their signature weapon just from playing the quest line or whatever. Yeah, right? Like in PGR, Grumph, right? It's so much more generous in that sense. And then you have more resources to go for rank ups. And it makes for a more, it makes the player feel better because it always feels like it's attainable. I agree, Niv. The only caveat on that is, like, Honkai definitely gives you much more weekly gacha currency, with the catch being there's more to gacha for. I feel like that is maybe early on it feels more rewarding. I feel like the longer that you play Honkai, the less rewarding it feels, because you've been on that grind for a while, right? I feel like, you know, for players like Kronos, who's gone to rank 1 before, players like Era, formerly, not to use the name again, but for some of y'all who might recognize the name, previously going by Yumikus, Era has also dropped a lot of money on this game and pushed a lot of the high ranks, and there's nothing left to achieve, you know? And that's kind of like, now what do you do? I would like some of the reworks to make the game more casual friendly. If they could make Honkai a little bit more casual friendly, especially on the gacha side of things, while retaining some of the high scaling stuff. I think I'd be cool with that. So one thing that I would like to see for Genshin is to adopt something like from Raid Shadow Legends, where you have meta events that reward you for the artifact farm. And probably if Genshin could alleviate some of the RNG and rolling the artifacts, or make it easier to do the artifact management, I think that would be cool. I feel like in terms of Genshin artifact requirements, like I don't know. I feel like it's the same as in Honkai, right? You have really high highs when you score that perfect artifact, but you have really low lows, which is when you never get the artifact you've been looking for. Whereas in Honkai, it feels amazing when you get super lucky in the gacha, but it feels like garbage when you're down to your last 10 pulls, you're down to your last single pull, and all you get is an off rate that you already have duplicates of. Did I get into HSR beta? Yes, we did. We played HSR beta on day 1. I'd like to play some HSR beta tonight, because I do want to get to the Luofu region and play that storyline for a bit. I just fell behind because, Honkai had the Twitch streamer event incentive. So we mostly just been streaming Honkai all of last week, starting from like last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hey Magus. Down to 8 pity for finality weapon. Are you gonna top up, Magus? Atsu's been loving HSR. I'll be honest, HSR in CBT3 feels much better than CBT2. It is the perfect side game if you're looking for a side game, and it has main game, end game potential if you're willing to farm. But there is artifact farming. I feel like at least now in CBT3, it doesn't feel bad about artifacts, right? Because in CBT2, we were super critical about the fact that it had artifacts. But I feel like right now, I think it's fine because you can just automate the farming. You can just auto farm, go do something else, come back, and it's done. And if you didn't get what you want, you just, rinse and repeat whenever you feel like, or you go farm something else. And I think, that way, you'll have the long-term progression, or you use copium artifacts that are good enough to clear the content that you're looking for. Again, it goes back to managing expectations. You set your goal. What do you want out of the game? Are you going to be topping up in the game? Yes, no, maybe. And it's the same in Honkai, right? We just manage expectations if you're not going to get full gear. Well, like I said, soft pity is a lie. And the gacha system is almost 1-for-1 with Genshin, with the exception that the weapon banner, the light cone banner, is 75-25 instead of 50-50, which is kind of an improvement, right? Because you only have one light cone that you're uprate on. But the character gacha for limited banners doesn't feel any better than Genshin's. You basically have to commit to prepping for it if you're free to play. So okay, counter argument, Poppy. Just because there's gachas that existed 10 years ago without any pity doesn't mean a gacha in 2023 needs to also be in the realm of feeling shitty. I think comparing a 2023 gacha to like FGO isn't exactly the greatest comparison, like, yes, we have all these quality of life features, but could it be better? Yeah, it can be better. But will they change it? No, because they want your money. And that's kind of the point where you have to decide for yourself, like, okay, I like this game, I like maybe the company and how they do the IP and how they handle the character design and stuff, but do I like it enough to spend my hard-earned currency on it? And that comes back to managing what your goals are, right? Because your goals will dictate how much you're willing to spend, how much time you're willing to invest. Like right now, for me, HSR is just completely side game. So I haven't even touched the beta other than what we did in the first weekend of beta. Yeah, end of the day, it's still gacha and they want your money. You know, why am I still playing Honkai 3rd when I could have been playing Rockman X Dive and trying to get later Summer Swimsuit? Because the gameplay loop in Honkai is a little bit nicer for me, right? I enjoy the story, as most average Honkai Impact 3rd players would. I enjoy the character design, and people come to watch me play the game, so of course I'm gonna keep playing Honkai. Why would I go back to Rockman X Dive? Yeah, me and what money? Well, that's the thing, right? If you don't have money, then you spend the time. And if you don't have the time, then you spend the money. And if you have neither, then what are you doing playing games? Go... You go home and rethink your life. You know? If you have neither the time or the money, then you just play it super casually as a side game, I guess. Have I ever played GGZ? No, because they closed the server by the time I did get around to deciding I would like to try it. And I'm not about to jump through all the hoops to play the JP version. So... But I did remember my friend showing me the gameplay of GGZ back, because he used to maintain a global account on it before they shut down the servers. They shut down the servers, what? It was like 1 year after I started playing Honkai 3rd. Yeah, exactly. Gotta grind real life at that point, you know? That's kind of where I'm at with Honkai and with gaming in general, with content creating, is like, my goals for this year is to slowly cut down my streaming hours of strictly Honkai streaming. The goal right now is, after version 6.4, we completely retire the NA account. I feel like I've set out what I set out to do with this account. I've accomplished, right? In 2020, the goal was, okay, well, we made it to the end of Masters, and then we did 1 year of Masters, trying to see if we could compete against everybody who broke through. Basically, the goal was, can I retain Masters Red Lotus against players who have Priarms, just using game knowledge? And I could. All the way up until Superstring launched, and then Superstring happened. I played this for another, like, 8 months after Superstring. 8 months to a year after Superstring, and then we're like, okay, well, this is fun and all, but now it's time to go to Exalted on this account. And we made it to Exalted. We did a lot of Nirvana Red Lotus bouncing up until 5.9, when they made it where instead of top 5 Nirvana retains, they made it top 10. So I actually went through 5.9, all of it retaining Nirvana. Never a top 5 finish, so no plus points. But I did get plus 100 points on a handful of cycles in 6.0. But yeah, 5.9, this account was able to retain Nirvana all the way up until the last week. So everything that I set out to do for this account, I've done. You know, I think one regret is maybe I didn't go into Exalted sooner, and so, like, this account was technically like a year behind on Priarms. But in the end, I don't think that made enough of a difference. This account did get its fair share of good gacha luck, right? We got HOF on a single multi during 5.0, 5.1, right? 5.0, we got HOF on a single multi. Was able to full gear Equinox, full gear Spina. Mobius took 2 spending events, right? Because Mobius was like, the first spending event we barely got the weapon, so we used Goemon MB. It was like, I don't even remember if it was Goemon MB, but it was like Monet T, maybe Benares MB. Maybe I had Goemon MB. And then we got the rest of the Stigmata during 5.5, after everything else. We unlocked Klein and Klein 3 stars from spending events only, you know. So, maybe I'll try to pick up Wedge. But I'll probably do it off stream if I do decide to go for Wedge on this account. Yeah, the NA account was a really long challenge run, and I feel like we've more or less reached the end of it. Is HOF worth it from the spending event as a new player? Are you able to even get to 600 as a new player? I think HOF is okay if you're looking for the Battlesuit collection. She's pretty fun to play, right? And you get to play her in Elysian Realm. Elf would be more of a long-term goal, right? If you pick up the elf fragments, because what you can do is if you pick up at least, what, 50 elf boxes, you can sit on those elf boxes, and then next patch after you get Wedge, you could rank up Wedge to 3-star. That's one option. Or you pick up all 75 elf boxes and unlock Blade Durandal. That's another option. I think collecting Flame Scion from the spending event shop is not bad, but depending on where you are, you know, like, the elf box might be more valuable. Yeah, I think content creating definitely adds another layer to it for sure. I feel obligated on some level to maintain a Star Rail account, even if just like casually, just to farm the content for it. But most likely what I'd like to do is maybe not necessarily do a lot of video focused content for Star Rail, but I'd like to, again, part of the reason I'm going to be retiring the NA account is so I can focus more on artwork. Which is, funny enough, what I actually got noticed for by Honkai staff originally was because, like, back in 2020, in addition to streaming the game every day, I was actually pumping out a decent amount of illustrations, throwing it up on Twitter, and staff found me because I tagged the Honkai Impact hashtag or whatever. And then after they invited me to content create as an artist, they were like, oh, he streams! Wedge is Water's Edge, yes. Yes, that is correct. Anybody want a mouse mat? Want a mouse mat? I got some mouse mats. Desk mats. How do you get HOR's weapon? I think Star of Eden is supposed to get a rerun later this patch. I think if you, for early game, you can kind of just use any heavy cannon. I think Markov Type A is a really common one that you can get. So Markov Type A you can kind of use as a placeholder. And then any heavy cannon that you can get. Some of them will be lasers. Preferably you want heavy cannon that is like, because there's 3 types of heavy weapons: laser, missile, and cannon, and you want heavy cannon. So Star of Eden will get another rerun later this patch, and this is kind of her modern weapon. Her old weapon does show up in Exchange Shop, but I don't think it's necessarily that worth it for most new players. But yeah, if you're early game, anywhere from level 1 to 79, you can probably make do with just Markov Type A. And then eventually any other gacha heavy weapon you can use as a stat stick for her. And every now and then there might be like event weapons that you can use as a heavier stat stick. So Ranger's Laser, where's the water gun? The water gun might show up in a summer time capsule. So this was a really popular stat stick for HOR. I would focus on playing the story. Playing the events and playing the story. I think that's what I would probably say. Alright, I'm gonna speed through this. Eat first, taste later, right? Hopefully most of y'all have already played through this as well. Cosma and HT are really OP. Good to know. Wow. I really like playing Cosma. Oh yeah, Nefer. Did you know that HOR was in that option box? Because I think we totally recommended for another player to just pick LE from the option box. I feel like right now, as much as it's good to farm LE, I think maybe for a brand new player, HOR might be a better early game pick. Yeah, HOR is in that anniversary box. I completely didn't even realize it. Because I'm so used to that option box not having, you know, Hershers other than HOV. Because, I mean, you know, you see the same option box and you're like, oh yeah, the option box. This reminds me of that one dude from Tower of Fantasy with the double daggers. I don't know. Might just be me, but I feel like they added too much complexity to this event. I would have much preferred it in the style of like previous chibi shooters, but just converted to platforming, where the only thing that you really need to worry about was leveling. I guess the one nice thing is that even if whoever it was that we told to get Lightning Empress got Lightning Empress over HOR, there's a lot of like really good strong units that like them having a delayed HOR is not that big of a deal, right? But them having Lightning Empress still allows them to farm infrastructure faster. Yeah, I think that's one thing I haven't considered yet, too, is, like, do they have the elemental coverage, which would dictate whether or not Flame Scion would be a high priority. I feel like there's so much that just gets homogenized, especially for newer players that are probably, like, your goal is just to clear Agony 2, maybe Agony 3, right? In which case, like, you can kind of brute force off elements quite a bit. Alright, let me switch things up then. Kiyame! Yay! Such a great start, but now you're suffering for the weapon. You want some of my dupes? Because I got way too many dupes. Wait, does her... Oh, it does. About to say, does her dash do damage? Ho 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 ho. I think I'm too far back now. I'm missing all my shots. You know what? I'll just ult. It's fine.
哎呦，罐头，你怎么这么调皮呀？苏哥，罐头才不是食材。也许他是因为饿了吧？不会吧？他2个小时之前，可能听起他呀，经常溜进厨房偷吃的。
So Kiana is comparable to Ken.
确实，只怕是无妨。虽然面对，
要不你是指？
别担心，我会帮你好。
真。
I think it'll depend on how they decide to write the character, Max, and how they design the kit. I feel like as it is right now, Cryo is such a strong element in Genshin because of the pyro interactions, and, you know, freeze comps are really nice too. So, in terms of power level, they would have to do something crazy unique or turn her into some kind of support unit. But I doubt they'll make her a support. Wait, do you just never run out of ammo? Can keep shooting. It's like that one weapon back in Mega Man X. Flamethrower. The flamethrower. You look pretty in anything. Oh yeah, some people do wear cosmetic contacts to change their eye color or to have like different designs on their irises, huh? I guess that's what the reference is to. My only thing is that I want the Archon to be good at C0, right? And I think that's for me one of my biggest frustrations is like Raiden's fine at C0, but everybody's always like, oh, C2, C3. Like, why is she not enough at C0? And that's kind of my biggest frustration, is like, she should be fine at C0, and everybody makes it like she's not. But I have that problem with a lot of modern Honkai 3rd characters, too, where it's like they're designed around S2. I want every character to be fine at C0, but sometimes we don't get nice things. Yeah! We could end up in another Dea situation. You get her at C-1. And this goes, again, like, that goes back to what I was saying earlier, right? Grass is greener on the other side. Rolling for artifacts might be a pain, but at least your character is playable without their signature weapons. Nah, there's a handful of others that have pretty significant improvements at C1. I don't think it's just Hu Tao. I feel like, yeah, Lan going from C0 to C1 was a huge, not just a combat difference, but it was a huge quality of life for open world. I think I'm gonna just go back to Kevin just for simplicity's sake. I don't even think Hutao cons are necessary either, because if you don't want to go for the rank ups, you just get good at the animation canceling. And then you don't have a problem at all either, you know? But the quality of life from having C1 is just so good. Which is why I'm also gonna roll for Shenhe C1 so I can have an extra E-charge. I can spam my mono cryo team even faster. Sometimes I wish Yoimiya could have 2 charges of E, just make things more convenient. I meant to ult.
这下就安分多了。
做得好。
那我呢？方才要……
多亏了你一阵跑。
如今得见，是不是觉得我不仅见多识广
Just for the treasure coffin line? Maybe one day I'll roll a Hutao.
你说对啊。
Maybe next year.
这不是很明显吗？你说，鱼是不是有鳞片？是不是会游泳？是不是喜欢鱼饵？那你说，你是不是也有鳞片，也会游泳，也喜欢鱼饵？那你这不就是鱼吗？看，这就是最大的鱼。
那这样说来，我们可以请他去镇子上参加鱼跃龙门的仪式了。
他别急，
我实在想不到，我花光所有宝贵的年假，还能在最后看到一个小……
成了，我的问。那距离他说他自己本是条白色的小龙，无忧无虑地生活在这森林洞窟之中，谁知他只好慌忙逃路，又闻到林间。
说重点。
这小龙心生好奇，循着香气一路找来，恰好撞见这岸边摆着一口。他喝了口刚开的汤，被烫得满脸通红。本想跃入河水降降温，没想到被你们钓了上来，还被……果然是被你的炮仗吓了一跳。喂，这不是重点，不是叫我
1天的功夫暴揍一顿。
好汉不提这距离对。
谈好了什么？
只要做出他记忆中最好吃的新川好菜——四喜丸子。喂，我什么时候骗过？这么说来，要玩……
好吧，先
好耶。
Oh, there's still more stages. Alright, I think I'm done for today on this. I think I'm gonna just play the daily stages and we'll go do other stuff. A Honkai without extreme power creep would be so good. Yeah, well, if Star Rail follows Genshin's formula, it'll be just okay enough, right? It'll be just enough okay. If after part 1 ends, whoever's in charge of Honkai decides they want to calm down on the power creep, I would also welcome that. I don't know how well that would go over with the core community over in CN though, if they try to make the game more casual, because a lot of the revenue right now is from the competitive side of things. Yeah, the funny pumpkin dancing man meme. Yep, true. I haven't done any of it. I'll probably do the bunch